Face front, true believers. Gotham is known for its shadows. The grimy underbelly that permeates the foundations of the city, breeding madness and monsters in its tide of merciless, unwavering evil. It was the same random kind of crime that made Bruce Wayne the man he is today. And it is what he fights against, by day and by night. This night he does so by attending a charity gala for wildlife preservation and big cat protection, hosted by his wife, Selina Kyle Wayne. So far the night has been a success, a victory for preservation, and a victorious night out. It would be now that the bat signal would blare into the sky, calling Batman to the next great caper. But for the first time, as he slow dances with Selina, Bruce Wayne does not want the signal to light the sky. Later, as the pair drive home, however, happily content, they do not realize they are being watched and followed all the way back to Wayne Manor. It is now the right time to congratulate your success. The success is when that deforesting contract is torn up. The evergreen leopard can only be found in that great forest, and I will not allow them to go extinct. Well, you could always sneak in and tear it up yourself. Don't tempt me. Come here, Isis. A pleasant evening, sir. Very. Is Damien back yet? Back, sir? Master Damien has been in the cave training all night. As Bruce checks the cave's camera, seeing Damien indeed training to his limits, his contentment becomes swiftly shattered. He told me he'd be with friends tonight. Perhaps the training dummies are his friends, sir. What do I do? How do I get through to him? He's so different. Yes. Moody, reclusive, singularly driven. I do not know how you can relate. You know what I mean, Alfred. He's not like the others. He needs to learn just how to be a kid, all of which will come in time. How do I help him, Alfred? What do I do? I know you will figure it out, sir. Much like you have before. There is suddenly a ringing as the doorbell is rung. Perhaps these are the friends Master Damien spoke of. As Alfred moves towards the door, he is suddenly blown back as the door is forced off its hinges and made into splinters. As Bruce runs to aid Alfred, the room is filled with green smoke as a new threat enters Wayne Manor, as the Green Goblin soars his glider into the home. Osborn, surprised to see me? You should know a bad goblin is like a bad penny. You never know when we'll turn up again. What do you want? What could I possibly want? Let me see. If this is about the R&D deal, friending me won't change my decision. Oh, this isn't about business. This is personal. As the goblin steps off his glider, getting close to Bruce. I only wanted to say hello. As he grabs Wayne by the collar. Hello, Batman. Enjoying the video so far, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next video. And if you like what we do here and you want to support us, then be sure to check out my first book, The Land of Untold Stories, now available on Amazon. Link in the description. What? You're insane. Yes. But not stupid. As easily as throwing a baseball, the goblin throws Bruce into a nearby wall, cracking the brickwork as Bruce hits the wall. Did you really think you could take everything from me and not meet any consequences? You did that yourself. Ah! And the mask falls away. Tell me, Batman, what should I take from you? Oh, this house, certainly. But what of this servant? As he steps down upon Alfred's chest, making him howl in pain as his ribs are cracked and Bruce's knuckles crack. Perhaps I should keep him around. Or maybe I'll just kill him. The goblin is knocked back by a thrown vase as Bruce recovers. You wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts. Bruce goes to throw a punch, but his fist is caught by the stronger goblin, who grabs and throws Bruce again, getting to his glider. What's wrong, Brucey? No toys this time. Well, I brought mine. A carbon steel binding shoots from the glider, wrapping around and binding Bruce. As the goblin flies higher, Bruce is caught helpless as the goblin has him at his mercy. How's this for irony? The bat killed in the air. The line is suddenly cut as Bruce drops down hard to the ground, as into the fray comes Robin, unsheathing his sword. You picked the wrong house, ghoul. I'm not in the business of playing babysitter. Run along now. You attack my father. You attack me. Eh well,
if you insist.
As the goblin begins shooting bolts of energy from his gloves, Robin dodges and evades the fast-moving shots as he reaches closer to the goblin's position. As the Green Goblin is distracted, Selena sneaks to where Bruce is tied, cutting him free as Bruce goes to get the injured Alfred. Into the cave, now! Robin slashes his sword furiously at the goblin. He's been training for 5 hours straight. The truth is, he's exhausted, but he cannot show it. He's the grandson of the great Ra's al Ghul, the son of Batman. He cannot fail. Robin throws explosive boomerangs at the hovering glider, but the goblin is ready for them as he dodges and aerially evades the explosives.
Right idea. Wrong caliber.
As the goblin returns with his own set of explosives, as pumpkin bombs rain down on Robin, he dodges until one comes careening towards him. He tries to strike the bomb in a downward slash, but it explodes in his face, sending him flying. The goblin steps off his glider as he comes towards the recovering Robin.
Bye-bye, birdie.
I've defeated worse than you. As Robin suddenly leaps into the air, sending out gas bombs that shroud the air. Robin moves with the expertise of a master as he kicks and strikes the goblin before returning to the shadows again. As he makes to once more kick the goblin, the Green Goblin suddenly catches his leg, throwing Robin across the destroyed living room. Meanwhile, in the Batcave, Bruce sets Alfred down to rest as he goes to the Bat computer, switching on camera surveillance. Tell me you have a plan. I beat Osborn once. I will again. Not without me. Selena. Don't Selena me. He attacked our home. I'm going. As Bruce stoically considers, we turn back to the manor. Robin is on the ground, continuing to try and recover. Ignore the pain, block out the fatigue, fight through it, win. You're the son of Batman. Keep fighting. As he tries to recover, the goblin suddenly kicks him in the side, sending him back to the ground.
This seems a good place to start. The bat took my son from me, so I'll take his.
Let go of my son.
Ah, finally addressed for the occasion. Too late, Batman. I've taken your home. It'll look splendid in green.
That was your first mistake, Osborn. As Batman pushes a button on his belt, plunging the house in darkness and making solid steel walls come down over the windows. The goblin turns back, but Batman is gone. You're in my house now. The goblin looks around him, laughing.
Haven't we played this game before? Seems old hat.
As Batman moves in the shadows, assessing the optimum position to strike.
What's wrong? Afraid I'll win this time?
It's you that's afraid. As Batman throws a score of batarangs, with one going into the goblin's side while the rest miss.
You missed.
Batman activates the batarangs, creating a shocking pulse that electrifies the goblin. With the goblin down, Batman moves in for the final attack, but the goblin is not as weakened as thought, as he evades Batman's punch, returning with one of his own. The pair square up, but the goblin once more proves stronger as he grabs Batman in a hole, easily dislocating Batman's shoulder. As Batman swiftly returns to the shadows, the goblin reclaims his glider.
Batman can't beat me the same way twice.
As a spotlight shines out, illuminating the dark night, Batman scowls as he holds his arm. Calmly, he relocates his shoulder, but before he can move anymore, the goblin presses his advantage as he throws scores of pumpkin bombs, intent on leveling Wayne Manor as Batman runs ahead of the ever-encroaching glider, only just evading the explosions as he heads for the grandfather clock, slinking through into the Batcave. But the goblin is hot on his heels as he enters the cave, Batman nowhere in sight.
More hiding? You really are a one-trick bat, aren't you?
You're not dealing with him now. As Robin and Catwoman flank the hovering goblin, making ready to defend. As the goblin realizes he's been lured into a trap. Get him off the glider! Catwoman launches at the goblin as Robin covers with batarangs. Catwoman scratches deep wounds into the goblin as she attacks the foe, while Robin uses his grapple line to bring the goblin down to the ground. As the goblin defends from the two-pronged attack, dodging and evading Robin's sword strikes as he tries to strike at Catwoman. He rolls away from the pair as Robin jumps towards him, making to thrust with the point of his sword, but the goblin catches him by the neck as he begins to squeeze, shooting his electrifying bolts at Catwoman, who is not fast enough as she is hit, sending her flying. But then the goblin is hit with a dart to the neck, suddenly halting his laughing as he pulls the dart out of him, dropping Robin as his hands begin to shake, and he sees them all around him. The sky fills with red and black as the shapes move around him, flying and fluttering past as they come for him, tearing into him, taking him, overwhelming him. He can't breathe. There are too many wings, and in the middle of them all, there's something else, something bigger, something darker, something terrible. As the shape moves towards him, his fear turns to terror as the shadow overwhelms him, grabs him, beats him, tears everything from him. He cannot escape its grip as it looms over him. It will kill him. He can't get away.
What? are you?
I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman. As Batman headbutts the goblin, knocking him out cold. As Robin approaches, massaging his throat. What was that? Modified fear toxin. Potent, but temporary. I needed time to synthesize it. What about him? He knows who we are. First, we rebuild. Later, as the cave and manor have once more been fortified and Osborn has been taken away, Alfred is busy tending to all wounds. You don't need to do that, Alfred. I can. The day I allow a thing like a concussion to halt my duties, I can retire in shame. Alright. Bruce smirks as he notices Damien. Does it hurt? Robin massages the cut above his eye as he says stubbornly, no? Good. I should have beaten him. I was expected to beat him, and No, you did well, and I'm proud of you. But I'm your son. I should have been able to beat a nobody like that. Bruce places a hand on his shoulder as he says, there are no expectations, Damien. Being my son doesn't mean winning every time. It means never staying down. And that's what you did tonight. And for that, I couldn't be more proud. Alfred quietly smiles at the scene as he walks over. How is she? As far as I can tell, no lasting damage. But there is something, sir. What? I thought it best to perform a quick blood test, and it revealed something. Thankfully, both of them are quite well. Both? Another one? Should we be worried about our home invader? No doubt he will try something of this dreadful nature again. No, I get the feeling things will work out just fine. As we turn our gaze to Arkham Asylum, where Norman Osborn tells his story to his next-door neighbor.
And then what happened?
Then he used some toxin to make me hallucinate.
Oh, I'll have to tell Crane to visit a copyright lawyer.
It doesn't matter. I'll get out of here. And when I do,
what will you do?
I still know his secret. I'll have him and this city in the palm of my hand.
Oh, really? Well, we can't have that.
What? As gas begins to pour into the room, choking Osborn. What are you doing? I can tell you who he is!
See? That's the problem. If you start telling secrets, then everyone will know. And we can't have that ruin my fun.